Welcome back to another episode of the Association Spotlight Series. I'm Lake Morehouse. We have another legislative short for you today, joined again by our CEO, Mark Drennan. Mark, thanks for joining us again.
Lake, thanks for having me again.
Appreciate it. Today we were just going to kind of run through this DHHR split bill. It's House Bill 2006, and just kind of explain it a little bit, to our members, to the general public, just kind of go over it and break it down a little bit. So, Mark, so far what do we have? It's less than 2 weeks left of the regular session here, so we're kind of winding down, and the splits seems to be at the top of the news, and a lot of folks are talking about it. So,
well, at the beginning of the session, I think this was the bill that we were talking about, and we expected that there would be an effort to divide the Department of Health and Human Resources into three separate departments, and so there was a Senate bill, and then there was a House bill, and so you never know which one's going to take the lead. The Senate ended up, and the House both ended up passing House Bill 2006, and it sits at the governor's desk right now.
Yep.
And so it divides the Department of Health and Resources into three departments. The Department of Human Services, which is probably what most of our members are familiar with. That would include the Bureau for Social Services, the Bureau for Behavioral Health, the Bureau for Medical Services, Medicaid, child support enforcement, family assistance, and sort of that bucket of bureaus would go with the Department of Human Services.
Okay.
And then it also has the Department of Health, and this is a really big category and a really important one, I think, that will affect all of our members, but one that we have. When we think about the Bureau for Public Health, our members haven't had that much interaction with them. But it elevates that to a department level, and it puts in a few of the offices and bureaus that fell previously. And some of those include, of course, the Bureau for Public Health, the Office of Emergency Medical Services, the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner, the Center for Threat Preparedness, which is one that our members actually interact with routinely, the Healthcare Authority, which is one that we used to, before the certificate of need was lifted for the Bureau for behavioral health services, but we still do have some certificate of need things that have to go through the Healthcare Authority. The Office of Inspector General, which has underneath of it OFLAC, or the Office of Health Facility Licensure and Certification, and that's the entity that goes out, licenses our members, does investigations when there are complaints, and so that'll be a bit of a change. And I think that the Inspector General in this bill actually gets a little more power. There's some subpoena powers that are listed in here, so some things we really want to keep an eye on. Also in there is the Board of Review, the Foster Care Ombudsman, the Mental Health Ombudsman, the Office of the Olmstead, Investigations and Fraud Management, Quality Control, West Virginia Cares, which does the criminal background checks for a lot of people that are in the healthcare space, is going to be under this new department, and which we would expect. Now, the Human Rights Commission also goes under that, and then lastly, you're going to have the Department of Health Facilities.
Sure.
And so we hear a lot about state hospitals. In our world, we talk a lot about Mildred Mitchell Bateman Hospital in Huntington and William R. Sharp, a hospital in Weston. But it also includes Hopemont, Jackie Withrow, John Manchin, Lakin, and Welch Community Hospital. So those would all fall under the Department of Health Facilities. So that's kind of how it breaks out. And right now it's sitting on the governor's desk for him to do with it what he wants.
Sure.
So we'll see.
And a lot of people may ask us and you yourself how we're going to kind of navigate this new look, if you will, of the DHHR. And to that we say we're open and we'll work and whoever and however this shakes out.
Yeah, whatever structure I think that becomes of what we now know as the Department of Health and Resources. We'll work under that. We're really hopeful that we see improvements in the services to the people that we care about, and I think that's the bottom line.
Yeah, no matter what, right? We want to be a resource for them and the experts, if you will, in this field of behavioral health. So
that's right.
Yeah.
it sort of ebbs and flows. There's a lot of different opinions on it. We've sort of remained neutral. We were glad that the governor's office included us in their research when they were deciding what to do, and so we were interviewed about the things going on at DHHR and how we thought it should play out. And we've definitely had some conversations with people in the legislature about this bill, but mainly we've just kind of watched.
That's all we can do there. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. I appreciate it. Well, Mark, that's a great explanation. Hopefully, folks, it kind of spells it out a little bit better for everyone and explains what's going on. And
if people are interested, it's House Bill 2006.
Sure.
And they can read it.
Yep. All right, Mark. Appreciate it. Thank you for the time, and we'll be back soon with another legislative short. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thanks, Blake.
All righty.